So last time I described Pokemon Yellow's very primitive form of friendship, and this time we're going to explore, well, Gen 2's many, many, much more fleshed out version. So I ended up using some clonies, so these are the same exact IVs, or DVs, depending on who you ask. We can even look. The same exact stat between both these EVs. I put return on both. And yeah, basically this has never been done. I went to battle and ran just to like make sure the return was in the proper spot. But anyway, we're gonna showcase the difference in damage on return and also something very special because I did work pretty hard to get one of these Pokemon. So if I remember correctly, based on what I was doing, it should be that this top one is the higher friendship. I'm pretty sure it's almost max friendship, if not max. I worked very hard to get there. So we're going to be looking for Rattata as a good example because Rattata only shows up at level 7 here, and so we can actually showcase return here. So we're going to take some damage, of course, which, yeah, but we can throw out a very, very powerful return. I mean, we are 2 levels under, we don't have a lot of stats, and we're doing a ridiculous amount of damage. This has to be pretty close to max. We are going to fight this just for the experience so we can potentially showcase another thing. But as you can see, we managed to beat the Rattata, and so now we're going to go on look for the next one so we can showcase this friendship, which is lower, I'm pretty sure. Unless I messed up. I'm pretty sure I cloned after or before I did all the friendship stuff. Did we get lucky? Yeah, level 7. And now we get to showcase how weak this one is in comparison. And we do a nice return. And you saw that we did almost 3/4 of its health. Look at that. That feels very light for a stab move too. I wonder if this is less than tackle. So we are barely above half. Let's see how much tackle is. I don't really care if you die. Tackle does more damage than the return there. That's so depressing. Alright, let's see if we can leave. Alright, we probably should have swapped to the other Eevee and gotten this so we could showcase another cool thing about friendship, besides the fact it affects returns, is that it can also lead to certain Pokemon evolving. There's a lot of famous cases, Eevee of course being the most popular one by a lot of people, but there's also such thing as like Golbat, for instance. And it allowed different Pokemon to have split evolutions in new ways. Because you look at, thank you for the crit, you look at the different ways that Pokemon evolved in the previous generation, and hey, look at this, we can now have a different evolution. With new held items, yeah, you could do this differently. I mean, look at Pokemon XD, but this allowed you to kind of go into the day and night cycle and be like, hey, friendship based on that. So yeah, we have an Espeon for our trouble, level 6 Espeon. But yeah, it's a cool showcase of how friendship kind of changed how we look at certain Pokemon, and more importantly, how return affected a lot of like applicability for in-game teams. I've talked before about it, but that's probably another video. I kind of want to talk about moves at some point, and what they change, what they do, but that's another time. Yeah, friendship is key, friendship is cool, and more importantly, friendship changes a lot as we go.